Hello traders, welcome back. My name is Neville Hornsey. I am a market analyst for YouTrading, and today I'm looking at S&P 500. Okay, before we get into the charts, just looking at the Forex Heat Map on YouTrading.com. Swiss franc is currently the strongest currency. Pound is currently the weakest, closely followed by the yen. So the yen and the Swiss franc are opposing in color, so no real risk on, risk off flows there. The bottom left-hand corner is turning more green, top right-hand corner is turning more red. So we are expecting to see these commodities, equities, and risk assets going higher this US session. Going into an economic calendar, looking through, we had quite a lot of German CPI data and then some EU economic data. The overall effect was that the euro versus US dollar came lower. As we came to the US session, US core PCE, these are the final prices for Q1, came in at 5.2, so inflation was hotter than expected, whereas the GDP final number came in at minus 1.6%. So recessionary fears are growing. If we get a second quarter, so if Q2 of 2022 comes in negative, then that's officially a recession. Now we've got US Fed Powell, ECB Lagarde, and Bank of England Bailey all speaking at the ECB forum. Essentially, we are seeing moves based on what they're saying. Going to the active trader platform, this is the S&P 500 on a 30-minute chart. Now, the first thing I want to point out is this gap here. So from the end of 10th of June into Monday's open on the 12th, we had the gap lower. You see all that gap get filled on the 24th. You see here we had a big impulsive move up, and then into the 27th, which was the start of this week, we had a little range just above it. Then we had yesterday's high come in basically at the same high as Monday. So we've got a double top up there. So some liquidity just above 3,950. And if we look to the left, we've got this big imbalance here from the 10th of June on this chart, and also here from the 9th of June. So if we do get back above this double top for this week, then I am expecting to see prices quickly push up into the 4,012. If we get through that little balance area there, then we push up higher to 4,092. So that's kind of targets to the upside. Downside targets, we've got this double bottom here, 3,640. And obviously we've had a rising trend. So if I just put in the trend line from this low to this low, you can see that when we pull that down to actually encapsulate all of the candles, that's kind of where we're trading at the moment. So a break lower in the next 15 minutes or less, then we could possibly be seeing a breakdown, wait for retest, and then a continuation lower. Now we'll come back to this chart in a second. I just want to go to the daily chart. So looking at the daily chart, there's that gap from the end of 10th of June into the next week. Then we had the bit push down. So we took out the swing low from the 20th of May. So we're making lower lows and potentially lower highs. So if we were to keep going lower after the break of that trend line, then yeah, I think we do come down towards this base here at 17th of June. However, looking to the left, 15th of June, 16th of June. So this is around the time of FOMC, slight push up on the 15th of June before a big outside day, really. We've taken control of the momentum again. So we took out this swing high here, filled the gap. All we've done is pull back into the highs from the 23rd of June. So here we've got 24th of June and then the start of the week. So this is Thursday, last Thursday. So we came down to last Thursday's high, found some support, and we're just waiting now to see whether or not that 3803 spot 45 holds. So going back to a 30-minute chart, here you can see that Thursday high into the Friday's price action, Monday's range, Tuesday's high for the week. So potentially Tuesday could be the high of the week here. We're just waiting now to see what happens by the end of this candle that's currently forming. And by that, I mean, we're looking to see if we have a breakout higher or lower of the initial balance. So the initial balance is the first hour of trading. So from 2:30 my time to the end of this candle, which closes at 3:30. That gives us a range. What I'm looking for potentially is either a move lower and then, like I said, a big extension down to the 3635, or a break higher out of this initial balance to then target the double top here from Monday, Tuesday. So looking at that, if we were to put a fib extension tool, so this is the range. Obviously, when it gets to a full extension of that range, we'll be up at 3880, which is basically the low here. So for us to get back above here, we need to see this potential initial balance go at least 3 times higher. So don't often see that. It would obviously be a very trendy move. There is a 66% probability that we go halfway. So we could be looking at the 3861 and this little balance area here. So I'll just mark that up. So in terms of high probability on this sort of 30-minute chart, looking to go to 3860 and then possibly higher. Or if we were to come lower, go from the high to the low. So the 1.618 is roughly 61.8% extension. So just below, well, just above there would be around 3780, which is essentially where this level here is. So potentially somewhere around this little low here would be a good target to the downside for a high probability trade to the downside. So if we go down to the 5-minute chart, you can see how price action's sort of developing. So we had big drop down on 230, took out this swing low here, but then we've taken out this swing high here. So that gives me an impression that the market structure is actually quite bullish. You can see that we've come down, tested the imbalance here. So the balance occurred on this 5-minute chart between 230 and 245 before it broke higher again. So they've just come down to test that. So really what I'm looking for at the moment is a push out of this initial balance at 330, and then a high probability trade up to 3860, where I'd start to look for this little zone here for taking profits. Maybe not the whole position off, but then seeing if we can then push up, like I said, towards this double top around a 3943 and the 2.618 extension of this initial balance. So that's kind of how I'm looking for a trade this US session. That's how I basically do all the analysis at the US Open. And yeah, good luck today.